Today on part 2 of the Unlimited Love Studio Gear Breakdown, we're going to be going over the guitars. Let's get into it. Of course, I quickly have to mention that the information discussed in today's video is from the Total Guitar interview with John Frusciante from May 2022. It's an amazing read. I highly suggest you guys go and pick it up. And surprise, surprise, John mentions the main guitar used throughout the entire recording process of Unlimited Love being his 62 Strat. Now, one cool part that he does mention though in terms of the 62 Strat is that he had an Illich hum canceling system installed on the guitar. And I remember telling my buddy Chandler, who's a massive advocate of the system, I told him about this and he was just super stoked. So it's definitely something that I'm going to have to research more and check out, because what I've heard from my pal Chandler and the little bits I have researched on, it just sounds super interesting. So pretty cool that John has modified that 62 Stratocaster further. So keep that in mind for all future performances with the 62 Strat. It now has a hum canceling system installed on the guitar. Another guitar used during the recording process of the album that I'm really happy to see return is that 55 Maple Strat. Now, John mentions that the pickups were changed to Masterbuilt Paul Waller pickups that just overall were more balanced, and he enjoyed the sound of those better than the Seymour Duncans that were previously in it. The last Strat that at least is mentioned in the interview is the 61 Fiesta Red Strat. That might be my favorite John Frusciante guitar of all time. Just saying. It's gorgeous. It sounds amazing. I love that guitar. Now, arguably the most interesting part about the whole recording process, at least as far as guitars are concerned, is that John brought into the studio and used a few of his old Yamaha SGs for some overdubs on Unlimited Love. These guitars we really only saw during his solo career, as they were used heavily, but to see them used in the Chili Peppers context is something that I know people were discussing before the album released, and were like, oh, maybe we'll see a lot of those guitars used. It doesn't sound like they were used in a really major context, but he does mention that if you listen with a good pair of headphones on, essentially, you can hear in the left side the Yamaha SG and the right side a Strat. So now with that information in mind, I'm definitely going to have to go back, listen to the whole album with a really good pair of headphones on, and try and see if I can notice any tonal differences at least, and maybe spot some instances of that SG being used. That'd be really cool to discuss and try and analyze in a future video. Now, the interview briefly mentions that a Jaguar or two were also used on Unlimited Love, but it doesn't get into any further details. The pictures, however, are of John's 62 Jag, so I believe that that is at least one of the ones that was used on the record. As far as electrics are concerned overall, John does mention that he really heavily relied on the neck pickup. It's cool that he does acknowledge, though, that the bridge pickup was a part of his sound during other eras, especially Californication and the By the Way eras, but now he's really focusing on the neck pickup as part of his sound, and he's kind of, at least as far as recording is concerned, phased out using the bridge pickup for a lot of stuff. Now, to finish off discussing guitars, we have to quickly touch on the acoustics. John, of course, uses pretty much exclusively Martin guitars, and there were a few different Martins featured on Unlimited Love. You had an O15 from 1940 that he used. You have a D28 Dreadnought, as well as a Martin 12-string, all used on the album. And there you guys go. That is the guitars that John mentions were used for the recording of Unlimited Love. Of course, now the final part we have to discuss is the amps that were used for the recording of Unlimited Love. So stay tuned for that video. If there's anything else John Frusciante-wise you want to see me discuss and talk about on my channel, leave a comment, let me know down below, and I'll try and make that happen. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching.